And to make us more than merry, let the pirate bumper pass.
For today a pirate apprentice rises from indentures free. Strong his arm and keen his edges, he's a pirate now indeed.
Here's good luck to Frederick's ventures, Frederick's out of his indentures.
22 now he's rising, and alone he's fit to fly, which we're bent on signalizing with unusual level right.
Here's good luck to Frederick's ventures, Frederick's out of his indentures. For the pirate sharing in, fill the pirate glass, and to make us more than merry, let the pirate bumper pass.
Yes, Frederick. From today you rank as a full-blown member of our band.
Hooray! My friends, I thank you all from my heart for your kindly wishes. Would that I could repay them as they deserve.
What do you mean?
Today, I'm out of my indentures, and today I leave you forever.
But this is unaccountable. A keener hand at scuttling a Cunarder or cutting out a P&O never shipped a handspike.
Yes, I have done my best for you. And why? It was my duty, under my indentures. And I am the slave of duty. As a child, I was regularly apprenticed to your band. It was through an error. No matter. The mistake was ours, not yours. And I was in honor bound by it.
An error? What error?
I may not tell you. It would reflect upon my well-loved Ruth.
Nay, master. Me mind has long been gnawed by the cankering tooth of mystery. We'd better have it out at once. When Frederick was a little lad, he proved so brave and daring. His father thought he'd apprentice him to some career seafaring. I was, alas, his nursery maid, and so it fell to my lot to take and bind the promising boy apprentice to a pilot. A life not bad for a hardy lad, though surely not a pilot. Though I'm a nurse, you might do worse than make your boy a pilot. I was a stupid nursery maid on breakers always steering, and I did not catch the word aright through being hard of hearing, mistaking my instructions which within my brain did gyrate. I took and bound that promising boy apprentice to a pirate. A sad mistake it was to make and doom him to a vile lot. I bound him to a pirate instead of to a pilot. I soon found out beyond all doubt the scope of this disaster. But I heard the feast to return to me place and break it to my master. A nursery maid is not afraid of what you people call work. So I made up me mind to go as a kind of piratical maid of all work. And that is how you find me now, a member of your Shylock, which you wouldn't have found had he been bound apprentice to a pilot. Pardon, Frederick, pardon.
Rise, sweet one, I have long pardoned you.
The two words were so much alike.
They were. They still are. Though years have rolled over their heads. But this afternoon my obligation ceases. Individually, I love you all with affection unspeakable. But collectively, I look upon you with a disgust that amounts to absolute detestation. Oh, pity me, my beloved friends, for such is my sense of duty that once out of my indentures, I shall feel myself bound to devote myself heart and soul to your extermination.
Poor lad, poor lad. Well, Frederick, if you conscientiously feel that it is your duty to destroy us, we cannot blame you for acting on that conviction. Always act in accordance with the dictates of your conscience, my boy, and chance the consequences.
Besides, we can offer you but little temptation to remain with us. We don't seem to make piracy pay. I'm sure I don't know why, but we don't.
I know why. But alas, I mustn't tell you. It wouldn't be right.
Why not, my boy? It's only 11:30, and you are one of us till the clock strikes 12.
True. And until then, you are bound to protect our interests.
Well, then, it is my duty as a pirate to tell you that you are too tender-hearted. For instance, you make a point of never attacking a weaker party than yourselves. When you attack a stronger party, you invariably get thrashed.
There is some truth in that.
Then again, you make a point of never molesting an orphan.
Of course, we are orphans ourselves and know what it is.
Yes, but it is got about. And what is the consequence? Everyone we capture says he's an orphan. The last 3 ships we took proved to be manned entirely by orphans, so we had to let them go. One would think that Great Britain's mercantile navy was recruited solely from her orphan asylums, which we know is not the case.
But hang it all, you wouldn't have us absolutely merciless.
No. There's my difficulty. Until 12 o'clock, I would. After 12, I wouldn't. Was ever a man placed in so delicate a situation?
And Ruth, your own Ruth, whom you love so well, and who is one a middle-aged wine to your boyish heart. What's to become of her?
No, he will take you with you.
Well, Ruth, I feel some little difficulty about you. It is true that I admire you very much, but I have been constantly at sea since I was 8 years old, and yours is the only woman's face I have seen during that time. I think it is a sweet face.
It is? Oh, it is.
I say, I think it is. That is my impression. But as I've never had an opportunity of comparing you with other women, it is just possible I may be mistaken.
True.
What a terrible thing it would be if I were to marry this innocent person, only to find out that she is, on the whole, plain.
Oh, Ruth is very well indeed.
Yes, there are the remains of a fine woman about Ruth.
Do you really think so?
I do.
Then I will not be so selfish as to take her from you. In justice to her, and in consideration for you, I will leave her behind.
No, Frederick, this must not be. We are rough men who lead a rough life, and we are not so utterly heartless as to deprive thee of thy love. I think I am right in saying that there is not one here who would rob thee of this inestimable treasure for all the world holds dear.
Not one!
No, I thought there wasn't. Right. Keep thy love, Frederick. Keep thy love.
You're very good, I'm sure.
Well, it's the top of the tide, and we must be off. Farewell, Frederick. When your process of extermination begins, let our deaths be as swift and painless as you can conveniently make them.
I will. By the love I have for you, I swear it. Would that you could render this extermination unnecessary by accompanying me back to civilization.
Oh, Frederick, It cannot be. I don't think much of our profession, but contrasted with respectability, it's comparatively honest. Now, Frederick, I shall live and die a pirate king. Oh, better far to live and die under the brave black flag I fly than play a sanctimonious part with a pirate head and a pirate heart. Away to the cheating world go you, where pirates all are well to do, but I'll be true to the song I sing and live and die a pirate king. For I am a pirate king, and it is a glorious thing to be a pirate king. For I am a pirate king.
Hurrah, pirate king!
And it is a glorious thing to be a pirate king.
It is hurrah for our pirate king! Hurrah for the pirate king!
When I sally forth to seek my prey, I help myself in a royal way. I sink a few more ships, it's true, than a well-bred monarch ought to do. But many a king on a first-class throne, if he wants to call his crown his own, must manage somehow to get through more dirty work than ever I do. For I am a pirate king, and it is a glorious thing to be a pirate king. For I am a pirate king.
Hurrah, pirate king!
And it is a glorious thing to be a pirate king.
It is hurrah for a pirate king! Hurrah for the pirate king!
Oh, take me with you. I cannot live if I am left behind.
Ruth, I will be quite candid with you. You are very dear to me, as you know, but I must be circumspect. You see, you are considerably older than I. A lad of 21 usually looks for a wife of 17.
A wife of 17. Why, in me you will find a wife of 1,000.
No, but I shall find you a wife of 47, and that is quite enough. Ruth, tell me, candidly and without reserve, compared with other women, how are you?
I will answer you quite truthfully, Master. I'm a slight cold, but otherwise I'm quite well.
I am sorry for your cold, but I was referring rather to your personal appearance. Compared with other women, are you beautiful?
I have been told so, dear Master.
Ah, but lately.
Oh, no. Years and years ago.
What do you think of yourself?
That's a very delicate question to answer, but I think I am a fine woman.
That is your candid opinion?
Yes. I should be deceiving you if I told you otherwise.
Thank you, Ruth. I believe you, for I'm sure you would not practice on my inexperience. I wish to do the right thing, and if, I say if, you are really a fine woman, your age shall be no obstacle to our union. Hark! Surely I hear voices. Who has ventured to approach our all but inaccessible lair? Can it be the Coast Guard? No, it does not sound like the Coast Guard.
Confusion! It is the voices of young girls. If we should see them, I am lost.
By all that's marvelous, a bevy of beautiful maidens.
Lost! Lost! Lost!
How lovely, how surpassingly lovely is the very plainest of them. What grace, what delicacy, what refinement. And Ruth told me she was beautiful. A false one, you have deceived me.
I have deceived you!
Yes, deceived me. You told me you were fair as gold.
And master, am I not so?
And now I see you're plain and old.
I'm sure I'm not a jot so.
Upon my innocence you play.
I'm not the one to plot so.
Your face is light, your hair is grey.
It gradually got so.
Faithless woman, to deceive me, I who trusted so.
Master, do not leave me here ere you go.
Faithless woman,
Master,
faithless woman,
Master,
faithless woman, to deceive me, I who trusted so. Faithless woman, to deceive me, I who trusted so.
my love without reflecting, oh, do not be rejecting. Take a maiden tender, her affection raw and green, at very highest rating has been accumulating. Summer 17, summer 17. Don't beloved master,
Saves
you
you
with disaster.
Your love would be uncomfortably fervid, it is clear.
My love on
As you were stating,
has been
accumulating.
47 years.
47 years.
47 years.
Faithless woman, to deceive me, I who trusted so. Faithless woman, to deceive me, I who trusted so. What shall I do? Before these gentle maidens, I dare not show in this alarming costume. No, I must remain in close concealment until I can appear in decent clothing.
Climbing over rocky mountains, skipping rivulet and fountain, crossing where the willows quiver.
where we are. And I wonder where Papa is. We've left him ever so far behind.
Oh, he will be here presently. Remember, poor Papa's not as young as we are, and we came over rather difficult country.
But how thoroughly delightful it is to be entirely alone. Why, in all probability, we are the first human beings who ever set foot on this enchanting spot.
Except the mermaids. It's the very place for mermaids, who are only human beings, down to the waist.
Oh, dear. And who can't be said strictly to set foot anywhere. Tails they may, feet they cannot.
We are quite alone, and the sea is as smooth as glass.
We have lots of time for swim before Papa and the servants arrive with the luncheon. Come along, girls. Don't be afraid. There isn't a man within 20 miles. Unfortunately.
Yes, why not?
Stop, ladies, pray. I had intended not to intrude in this effective but alarming costume. But under these peculiar circumstances, I feel it is my bounden duty to inform you that your proceedings will not be unwitnessed.
But who are you? So speak.
I am a pirate.
A pirate! Horror!
Ladies, do not shun me. This evening I renounce my vile profession, and to that end, O pure and peerless maidens, a blushing bud of ever-moving beauty, I soar at heart, implore your kind assistance.
How pitiful his tale, how rare his beauty. How pitiful his tale, how rare his beauty.
Oh, is there not one maiden breast which does not feel the moral beauty of making worldly interests subordinate to sense of duty? Who would not give up willingly on man
kind. Take heart, no danger lies. Take any heart but ours. Take heart, fair is the shine. Take any heart, take mine.
What ought we to do? Gentle sisters say, propriety we know, says we ought to stay, while sympathy exclaims, freedom from your tether, play at other games, leave them here together. Her case may any day be yours, my dear, or mine. Let her make her hay while the sun doth shine. Let us compromise, our hearts are not of leather. Let us shut our eyes and talk about the weather.
Yes, yes, let's talk about the weather. How beautifully blue the sky, the glasses rising very high. Continue fine, I hope it may end. Yet it rained but yesterday, tomorrow it may pour again. I hear the country wants some rain, yet people say, I know not why that we should have a warm July. Tomorrow it may pour again. I hear the country wants some rain, yet people say, I know not why that we should have a warm July. Tomorrow it may pour again. I hear the country wants some rain, yet people say, I know not why that we should have a warm
exceeding gladness.
How beautifully blue the sky, the glasses rising very high. Continue fine, I hope it may end. Yet it rained but yesterday, tomorrow it may pour again. I hear the country wants some rain, yet people say, I know not why that we should have a warm July. Tomorrow it may pour again. I hear the country wants some rain, yet people say, I know not why that we should have a warm July. Tomorrow it may pour again. I hear
If a pirate grown his soul in guilty dreaming, and wake to find that soul with peace and virtue beaming.
how beautifully blue the sky, the glasses rising very high. Continue fine, I hope it may end. Yet it rained but yesterday. Continue fine, I hope it may end. Yet it rained but yesterday. How
If a pirate knows the sailing
Continue fine, I hope it may end. Yet it rained but yesterday. Tomorrow it may pour again. We should have a warm July. We should have a warm July.
we must not lose our senses. Men who stick at no offences will anon be here. Piracy, the dreadful trade is. Pray you get you hence, young ladies, while the coast is clear.
No, we must not lose our senses. If they stick at no offences, we should not be here. Piracy, the dreadful trade is. Nice companions for young ladies. Let us hear. Too late, too late.
Here's a first-rate opportunity to get married with impunity and indulge in the felicity of unbounded domesticity. You shall quickly be personified, conjugally matrimonified by a doctor of divinity who is located in this vicinity.
We have missed our opportunity of escaping with impunity. So farewell to the felicity of our maiden domesticity. We shall quickly be personified, conjugally matrimonified by a doctor of divinity who is located in this vicinity.
By a doctor of divinity who resides in this vicinity. By a doctor of divinity. Of divinity.
Old monsters, ere your plague caravanserai proceed against our will to wed us all. Just bear in mind that we are wards in chancery, and father is a major general.
We'd better pause, or danger may befall. Their father is a major general.
Yes, yes, he is a major general.
Yes, I am the major general. For he is a major general.
He is hurrah for the major general.
And it is a glorious thing to be a major general.
It is hurrah for the major general, hurrah for the major general.
I am the very model of a modern major general. I've information, vegetable, animal, and mineral. I know the kings of England, and I quote the fights historical, from Marathon to Waterloo in order categorical. I'm very well acquainted too with matters mathematical. I understand equations, both the simple and quadratical. About binomial theorem, I'm teeming with a lot of news. With many cheerful facts about the square of the hypotenuse.
With many cheerful facts about the square of the hypotenuse. With many cheerful facts about the square of the hypotenuse. With many cheerful facts about the square of the hypotenuse.
I'm very good at integral and differential calculus. I know the scientific names of beings and animalculous. In short, in matters vegetable, animal, and mineral, I am the very model of a modern major general.
In short, in matters vegetable, animal, and mineral, he is the very model of a modern major general.
I know our mythic history, King Arthur's answer paradox. I answer hard acrostics, I've a pretty taste for paradox. I cooked in elegiacs all the crimes of Heliogabulus, and conics I can plumb peculiarities parabulas. I can tell and down to Raphael's from Jenadels and Zophanies. I know the clothing chorus from the frogs of Aristophanes. Then I can hum a fugue of which I've heard the music's din of for. And whistle all the airs from that infernal nonsense pinafore.
And whistle all the airs from that infernal nonsense pinafore. And whistle all the airs from that infernal nonsense pinafore. And whistle all the airs from that infernal nonsense pinafore.
Then I can write a washing bill in Babylonic cuneiform and tell you every detail of Caractacus's uniform. In short, in matters vegetable, animal, and mineral, I am the very model of a modern major general.
In short, in matters vegetable, animal, and mineral, he is the very model of a modern major general.
In fact, when I know what is meant by Memilon and Ravelin, when I can tell at sight a Mauser rifle from a javelin, when such affairs as sorties and surprises I'm more wary at, and when I know precisely what is meant by commissariat, when I have learnt what progress has been made in modern gunnery, when I know more of tactics than a novice in a nunnery, in short, when I've a smattering of elemental strategy, You'll say a better Major General has never sat a G.
You say a better Major General has never sat a G. You say a better Major General has never sat a G. You say a better Major General has never sat a G.
For my military knowledge, though I'm plucky and adventurous, has only been brought out at the beginning of the century. But still in matters vegetable, animal, and mineral, I am the very model of a modern Major General.
But still in matters vegetable, animal, and mineral, he is the very model of a modern Major General.
And now that I've introduced myself, I should like to have some idea of what's going on.
Oh, Papa!
Permit me. I'll explain in 2 words. We propose to marry your daughters.
Dear me!
Against our wills, Papa! Against our wills!
Oh, but you mustn't! May I ask? This is a very picturesque uniform, but I'm not familiar with it. What are you?
We are all single gentlemen.
Yes, I gathered that. Anything else?
No, nothing else.
Papa, don't believe them. They're pirates. The famous Pirates of Penzance.
Pirates of Penzance? I have often heard of them.
All except this gentleman, who was a pirate once, but who is out of his indentures today, and who means to lead a blameless life evermore.
But wait a bit. I object to pirates as sons-in-law.
We object to Major Generals as fathers-in-law. But we waive the point. We do not press it. We look over it.
An idea. And do you mean to say that you would deliberately rob me of these, the sole remaining props of my old age, and leave me to go through the remainder of my life unfriended, unprotected, and alone?
Well, yes. That's the idea.
Tell me, have you ever known what it is to be an orphan?
Oh, get it all! Here we are again.
I ask you, have you ever known what it is to be an orphan?
Orphan?
Yes, orphan. Have you ever known what it is to be one?
I say, orphan.
Orphan! Orphan! Orphan!
I don't think we quite understand one another. I ask you, have you ever known what it is to be an orphan? And you say, orphan. As I understand you, you are merely repeating the word orphan to show that you understand me.
I didn't repeat the word orphan.
Pardon me, you did indeed.
I only repeated it once.
True, but you repeated it.
But not orphan.
Stop. I think I can see where we are getting confused. When you said orphan, did you mean orphan, a person who has lost his parents, or often, frequently?
I beg your pardon. I see what you mean. Frequently.
You said often, frequently.
No, only once.
Exactly! You said often, frequently, only once! Oh, men of dark and dismal fate, forgo your cruel employ. Have pity on my lonely state. I am an orphan boy.
An orphan boy.
An orphan boy.
How sad, an orphan boy.
These children whom you see are all that I can call my own.
Poor fellow.
Take them away from me, and I shall be indeed alone.
Poor fellow.
If pity you can feel, leave me my soul remain. See at your feet they kneel, your hearts you cannot steal, against the sad, sad tale of the lonely orphan boy. Fellow, see at our feet they kneel, our hearts we cannot steal, against the sad, sad tale of the lonely orphan boy. The orphan boy, the orphan boy, see at our feet they kneel, our hearts we cannot steal, against the tale of the lonely orphan boy. I'm telling a terrible story, but it doesn't diminish my glory, for they would have taken my daughters over the billowy waters if I hadn't an elegant diction, indulged in innocent fiction, which is not in the same category as telling a regular terrible story.
If he's telling a terrible story, we shall die by a delicate story. It's one of the coolest stories that's ever been known in these waters. It is easy in elegant diction to call it an innocent fiction, but it comes in the same category as telling a regular terrible story. It's easy in elegant diction to call it an innocent fiction, but it comes in the same category as telling a regular story.
Although our dark career sometimes involves the crime of stealing, we rather think that we're not altogether void of feeling. Although we live by strife, we're always sorry to begin it. For what we ask is life without a touch of poetry in it. Hail, poetry, thou heaven-born maid, thou gildest in the pirate's trade. Hail, flowing fount of sentiment, all hail, dividing Orient. You may go, for you're at liberty. Our pirate rules protect you, and honorary members of our band, we do elect you.
For he is an orphan boy.
He is hurrah for the orphan boy.
And it sometimes is a useful thing to be an orphan boy.
It is hurrah for the orphan boy, hurrah for the orphan boy.
Oh, happy day with joyous glee,
They will away and marry we. Oh, happy day with joyous glee. They will away and marry we. Should it befall auspiciously, the sisters all will bridesmaids be. Should it befall auspiciously, the sisters all will bridesmaids be. Oh, happy day with joyous glee. They will away and marry we. Should it befall auspiciously, the sisters all will bridesmaids be. Should it befall auspiciously, the sisters leave her.
Away, you grieve me.
Away, you grieve him.
I wish you'd leave me.
We wish you'd leave him. Pray observe the magnanimity we display to lace and dimity. Never was such opportunity to get married with impunity. But we give up our felicity on unbounded domesticity, though a doctor of divinity is located in this vicinity.
They observe a magnanimity, they display to lace and dimity. Never was such opportunity to get married with impunity. But they give up the felicity of unbounded domesticity, though a doctor of divinity is located in this vicinity.
But we give up the felicity of unbounded domesticity. But we give up the felicity of unbounded domesticity, though a doctor of divinity, a doctor of divinity, a resides in this vicinity. Though a doctor resides in this vicinity.
Cannot you, in the calm excellence of your wisdom, reconcile it with your conscience to say something that will relieve my father's sorrow?
I will try, dear Mabel, but why does he sit night after night in this drafty old ruin?
Why do I sit here? To escape the pirates' clutches. I described myself as an orphan, and heaven help me, I am no orphan. I came here to humble myself before the tombs of my ancestors, and to implore their pardon for having brought dishonor upon the family escutcheon.
But you forget, sir, you only bought the property a year ago, and the stucco on your baronial castle is scarcely dry.
Frederick, in this chapel are ancestors. You cannot deny that. And with the estate, I bought the chapel and its contents. I don't know whose ancestors they were, but I know whose ancestors they are. And I shudder to think that their descendant by purchase, when I so describe myself, should have brought disgrace upon what I have no doubt was an unstained escutcheon.
Be comforted. Had you not acted as you did, these reckless men would assuredly have called in the nearest clergyman and have married your large family on the spot.
I thank you for your proffered solace, but it is unavailing. I assure you, Frederick, that such is the anguish and remorse I feel at the abominable falsehood by which I escaped these easily deluded pirates, that I should go to their simple-minded chief this very night and confess all. Did I not fear that the consequences would be most disastrous to myself? At what time does your expedition march against these scoundrels?
At 11, and before midnight, I hope to have atoned for my involuntary association with the pestilent scourges by sweeping them from the face of the earth. And then, dear Mabel, you will be mine.
Are your devoted followers at hand?
They are. They only wait my orders.
Then, Frederick, let your escort, lion-hearted, be summoned to receive a general's blessing. Ere they depart upon their dread adventure.
Dear sir, they come.
Foeman bears his steel, we uncomfortable feel, and we find the wisest thing is to slap our chests and sing, for when threatened with the mute, and your heart is in your mood, there is nothing brings it round like the trumpet's martial sound, like the trumpet's martial sound. It's evident these attentions are well meant. Such expressions don't appear calculated men to cheer. Who are going to meet their fate in a highly nervous state. Still to us it's evident these attentions are well meant.
Go and do your best endeavor, and before our leagues we sever, we will say farewell forever. Go to glory and the brave, go to glory and the brave. Though your foes have fierce and ruthless, false and merciful and truthless, young and tender, old and toothless,
to stress on the risks that on us press, and of referential lack to our chance of coming back. Still, perhaps it would be wise not to cough or criticize, for it's very evident these attentions are well meant. Yes, it's very evident these attentions are well meant. Evident, yes, well meant. Evident, ah, yes, well meant.
Now for the pirate's lair. Oh, joy unbounded, oh, sweet relief, oh, rapture unexampled. At last I may atone in some slight measure for the repeated acts of theft and pillage, of which, at a sense of duty's stern dictation, I, circumstance's victim, have been guilty.
Young Frederick,
who calls
your late commander,
And I, your little Ruth.
O mad intruders, how dare ye face me? Know ye not, O rash ones, that I have doomed you to extermination?
have mercy on us. Hear us say you slaughter.
I do not think I ought to listen to you. Yet mercy should alloy our stern resentment. And so I will be merciful. Say on.
When you had left our pirate fold, we tried to raise our spirits faint, according to our custom, old with quips and quibbles quaint. But all in vain the quips we heard. We lay and sobbed upon the rocks, until to somebody occurred a startling paradox.
A paradox.
A paradox, a most ingenious paradox. With quips and quibbles heard in flocks, but none to fit that paradox.
A paradox, a paradox, a most ingenious paradox. A paradox.
We knew your taste for curious quips, for pranks and contradictions queer, and with the laughter on our lips we wish you there to hear. We said if we could tell it him, how Frederick would the joke enjoy. And so we've risked both life and limb to tell it to our boy.
That paradox.
That paradox, that most ingenious paradox, with quips and quibbles heard in flocks, but none to beat that paradox.
A paradox, a paradox, a most ingenious paradox. A paradox.
For some ridiculous reason, to which, however, I've no desire to be disloyal, some person in authority, I don't know who, Very likely the Astronomer Royal has decided that, although for such a beastly month as February, 28 days as a rule are plenty, 1 year in every 4, his days shall be reckoned as 9 and 20. Through some singular coincidence, I shouldn't be surprised if it were owing to the agency of an ill-natured fairy. You are the victim of this clumsy arrangement, having been born in leap year on the 29th of February. And so, by a simple arithmetical process, you'll easily discover that though you've lived 21 years, yet if we go by birthdays, you're only 5 and a little bit over.
Dear me, let's see. Yes, yes, with yours my figures do agree. How quaint the ways of paradox, at common sense he gaily mocks. Though counting in the usual way, years 21 I've been alive. Yet reckoning by my natal day, yet reckoning by my natal day. 1, 2, 3, 4. I am a little boy of 5.
A little boy of 5.
A paradox, a most ingenious paradox. Curious paradox. A most ingenious Upon my word, this is most curious, most absurdly whimsical. 5 1/4. You'd never think it to look at me.
You'll be glad now, I'll be bound, that you spared us. You'd never have forgiven yourself when you discovered you'd killed 2 of your comrades.
My comrades?
I'm afraid you don't appreciate the delicacy of your position. You were apprenticed to us.
Until my 21st year.
No. Until you reached your 21st birthday. And going by birthdays, you are as yet only 5 1/4.
You don't mean to say you're going to hold me to that?
No. We merely remind you of the fact and leave the rest to your sense of duty.
Your sense of duty.
Oh, don't put it on that footing. As I was merciful to you just now, be merciful to me. I implore you not to insist upon the letter of your bond just as the cup of happiness is at my lips.
We insist on nothing. We merely content ourselves with pointing out to you your duty.
Your duty.
Well, you have appealed to my sense of duty. My duty is only too clear. I abhor your infamous calling. I shudder at the thought that I have ever been mixed up with it. But duty is before all. At any price I will do my duty.
Bravely spoken. Come, you are one of us once more.
Lead on, I follow. Oh, horror!
What's the matter?
Ought I to tell you? No, I cannot do it. And yet, as one of your band...
Speak out! I charge you by that sense of conscientiousness to which we have never yet appealed in vain.
General Stanley?
Yes?
The father of my Mabel?
Yes.
He escaped from you on the plea that he was an orphan.
He did.
It breaks my heart.
Yes.
To betray the honored father of the girl I adore.
Yes.
But as your apprentice, I have no alternative. It is my duty to inform you that...
Yes.
General Stanley is no orphan. No. More than that, he never was one.
Am I to understand that to save his contemptible life, he dared to practice on our credulous simplicity. Our revenge shall be swift and terrible. We will go and collect our band and attack Tremorne Castle this very night.
But stay,
Not a word, he is doomed! Away, away, my heart's on fire. I burn this base deception to repay. This very night, my vengeance dire shall blot itself in gore. Away, away,
away, away, ere I expire. I find my duty hard to do today. My heart is filled with anguish dire. It strikes me to the core. Away, away.
with false and foul he tricked us of our prides. Let vengeance how the pirate soul decides. How in nature stern he softened with his lies, and in return tonight the traitor dies.
Yes, yes, tonight the traitor dies.
Yes, yes, tonight the traitor dies.
Tonight he dies.
Yes, and early tomorrow
His girls likewise.
They will water and sorrow.
the one soft spot,
In their natures they cherish.
And all who plot
to abuse it shall perish. Tonight
He dies so early tomorrow. His girls likewise they will water in sorrow.
the one soft spot in their natures they cherish, and all who plot to abuse it shall perish. Away, 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 tonight the traitor dies. Away, away, tonight, 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 the traitor dies tonight.
All is prepared, your gallant crew await you. My Frederick in tears, it cannot be that Lionheart caused the coming conflict.
No, Mabel, no. A terrible disclosure has just been made. Mabel, my dearly loved one, I bound myself to serve the pirate captain until I reach my 21st birthday.
But you are 21.
I've just discovered that I was born in leap year, and that birthday will not be reached by me till 1940.
Oh, horrible! Catastrophe appalling!
And so farewell.
No, no! Oh, Frederick, hear me! Stay, Frederick, stay! They have no legal claim. No shadow of a shame will fall upon my name. Stay, Frederick, stay!
Nay, Mabel, nay. Tonight I quit these walls. The thought my soul outlaws, but when stern duty calls, I must obey.
Stay, Frederick, stay!
Nay, Mabel, nay.
They have no claim.
What duty is named for what my soul outlaws, but when stern duty calls,
Stay, Frederick, stay!
I must obey.
Oh, leave me not to mine
1940 I of age shall be, I'll then return and claim you, I declare it.
It seems so long.
Swear that till then you will be true to me.
Yes, I'll be strong. By all the Stanleys dead and gone, I swear it.
Oh, here is love, and here is truth, and here is food for joyous laughter. She will be faithful to her suit till we are wed, and even after. Oh, here is love, and here is truth.
Oh, here is love, and here is truth.
She will be faithful to her
She will be
suit
faithful to his
till we are wed, and even after.
till we are wed.
And even after.
Yes, even after.
Oh, here is love, and here is truth, and here is food for joyous laughter. She will be faithful to her suit
Till we are wed, and even after.
She will be faithful to her suit till we are wed, and even after, even after. Oh, here is love, and here is truth. Oh, here is love, here is love.
No, I am brave, of feminine descent. How great thy charm, thy sway, how excellent. Come one and all, undaunted men in blue. A crisis now, affairs are coming to.
Oh, in body and in mind, we are timidly inclined, yet anything but blind to the danger that's behind. Yet when the danger's near, we manage to appear as insensible to fear as anybody here, as anybody here.
Sergeant, approach. Young Frederick was to have led you to death and glory.
That is not a pleasant way of putting it.
No matter, he will not so lead you, for he has allied himself once more with his old associates.
He has acted shamefully.
You speak falsely. You know nothing about it. He has acted nobly.
He has acted nobly.
Dearly as I loved him before, his heroic sacrifice to his sense of duty has endeared him to me tenfold. But if it was his duty to constitute himself my foe, it is likewise my duty to regard him in that light. He has done his duty. I will do mine. Go ye and do yours.
Righto. This is perplexing. We cannot understand it at all. Still, as he was actuated by a sense of duty, that makes a difference, of course. At the same time, we repeat, we cannot understand it at all. No matter, our course is clear. We must do our best to capture these pirates alone. It is most distressing for us to be the agents whereby our erring fellow creatures are deprived of that liberty which is so dear to us all. But we should have thought of that before we joined the force. We should. It's too late now. It is. Oh, when the felon's not engaged in his employment, or maturing his felonious little plans, his capacity for innocent enjoyment, is just as great as any honest man. Our feelings we with difficulty smother, when constabulary duties to be done, or take one consideration with another, a policeman's lot is not a happy one. When constabulary duties to be done, a policeman's lot is not a happy one. When the enterprising burglar's not a burgling, when the cutthroat isn't occupied in crime, he loves to hear the little brook a gurgling, and listen to the merry village chime, when the coster's finished jumping on his mother, he loves to lie basking in the sun, or take one consideration with another, a policeman's lot is not a nappy one. When constabulary duties to be done, a policeman's lot is not a nappy one.
A rollicking band of pirates fleet were tired of tossing on the sea, or trying their hand at the burglary with weapons grim and gory.
Hush, hush, I hear them on the man approaching. With stealthy steps the pirates are approaching.
We are not coming for plate or gold, a story General Stanley's told. We seek a penalty 50-fold for General Stanley's story.
They seek a penalty
50-fold. We seek a penalty
50-fold. They seek a penalty 50-fold for General Stanley's story. They come in force with stealthy stride. Our obvious course is now to hide.
With cat-like tread, upon our prey we steal. In silence dread, our cautious way we feel. No sound at all, we never speak a word. A fly's footfall would be distinctly heard. So stealthily the pirate creeps, while all the household soundly sleeps. To navigation, take another station. Let's ferry piracy with a little burglary. Come, friends, who plow the sea, cruise to navigation, take another station. Let's ferry piracy with a little burglary.
Is your crowbar and your center beat, your life preserver, you may want to hit. Your silent matches, your dark lantern seize. Take your file and your skeletonic keys.
Tarantala, we can't like red, tarantala, his silent tread. With cat-like tread, upon our prey we steal. In silence dread, our cautious way we feel. No sound at all, we never speak a word. A fly's footfall would be distinctly heard. Come, friends, who plow the sea,
hush, another word. I see a light inside. The Major General comes, so quickly hide.
Yes, yes, the Major General comes. Yes, yes, the Major General comes.
Yes, yes, the Major General comes. Tormented by the anguish dread of falsehood unatoned, I lay upon my sleepless bed and tossed and turned and groaned. The man who finds his conscience ache no peace at all enjoys. And as I lay in bed awake, I thought I heard a noise.
He thought he heard a noise.
No, all is still in dale on hill. My mind is set at ease. So still the scene, it must have been the sighing of the breeze. Sighing softly to the river comes the loving breeze, setting nature all a quiver, rustling through the trees, and the broken rippling measure laughs for very loud, while the poplars in their pleasure wave their arms above.
Yes, the trees for very love wave their leafy arms above.
River, river, little river, may thy loving prosper ever.
Heaven's sweet deep poplar tree,
May thy wooing happy be.
heaven's sweet deep poplar tree,
May thy wooing
What strange occurrence can it be that caused your father from his rest? At such a time of night as this, so very incompletely dressed. So very incompletely dressed. At such a time of night. The pirates! The pirates!
yes, we're the pirates of his name.
Frederick here, oh joy, oh rapture, summon your men and effect the capture.
Frederick, save us! Beautiful Mabel, I would if I could, but I am not able.
He's telling the truth, he is not able.
With base deceit, you worked upon our feelings. Revenge is sweet and favors all our dealings. With courage rare and resolution manly, for death prepare, unhappy General Stanley.
Is he to die unshriven, unannealed? Oh, spare him! We'll know when it is cause a weapon wield. Oh, spare him!
Yes, we are here. Go through the stagger and pirates yield.
To gain a brief advantage you've contrived, but your proud triumph shall not be long-lived.
Don't say you're orphans, for we know that game.
On your allegiance we've a stronger claim. We charge you yield. We charge you yield in the Queen Victoria's name.
You do.
We do. We charge you yield in the Queen Victoria's.
We yield at once with humble mien, because with all our faults we love our queen.
Yes, yes, with all their faults they love their queen. Yes, yes, with all our faults we love our queen. Away with them and place them at the bar.
One moment, let me tell you who they are. They are no members of the common throng. They are all noblemen who have gone wrong. They are all noblemen who have gone wrong.
No Englishman unmoved that statement hears, because with all our faults we love our house of peers. I pray you pardon me, ex-pirate king. Peers will be peers, and youth will have its fling. Resume your ranks and legislative duties, and take my daughters, all of whom are beauties.
Take off the ways you steps we trod, wandering ones. Oh, wandering ones, if such poor love as ours can help me find a true bit of mine, we'll take it, it is ours.
Wandering one, wandering one, wandering one, wandering one. Take heart, take heart. Take any heart, take us. Take heart, take us. Take heart, fairness we shine. Take heart, fairness we shine. Take heart, take heart, take heart,
Thank you.